welcome back to Radio Mom. This is Pat Doherty here, and I hope you called your mom on Mother's Day. I know I did. If you didn't, what the hell's wrong with you? Seriously. Anyway, I want to thank everyone who came to the Nomad on Cinco de Mayo. Always great to stomp, clap, and sing the hell out of the place. So, see you next week when Nathan K stops by. I gotta say, I had an interesting encounter at a liquor store. Great way to start a story, I know. I go way back, which is where all the best beer is, apparently. And many of you know I am an East Coast transplant. I happened upon a brand of beer called Pennsylvania Lager, made and brewed in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So, right there should have been a red flag, but curiosity got the best of me. I stared this brand down. My own state pride was on the line here, so I had to know, what did Wisconsin think Pennsylvania-styled lager tasted like? So I got the smallest sample size I could get, which happened to be a case of 30 cans. I guess that should have been another red flag, yet I persisted. Anyway, when I got the product home, opened it up, cracked open a can, and as soon as that beer hit my taste buds, oh man, I knew right then and there that it was one of the worst beers I've ever had in my life. I mean, this was clearly, its purpose is only for binge drinking. That's it. It is a watery tasting swill from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Probably aimed at college kids who have never been out of the state of Wisconsin. And I can say, as someone from Pennsylvania, if you think Pennsylvania is exotic, oh man, you need to leave the couch. Get out of the basement. Seriously. Ugh. Oh, man. I mean, I shouldn't knock it, because when beers are meant for binge drinking, it's not exactly, you know exactly what you're getting to. It's not the most high-class beverage. But I will say this. Anytime someone decides to go on a binge, I always notice when they wake up the next morning, they are mystified and incredulous by the fact that they have the worst hangover they've ever had in their life. And then they start rationalizing, like, oh man, dude, I shouldn't have had those shots last night. That's what did it. That's what I mean, like, if we didn't start doing shots, we switched to shots, like, at 1 in the morning, that was my downfall. I only had, like, 3 of them, too, you know, so it was, you just don't want to mix. You can't mix the beer and the liquor. You know the limerick, beer before liquor, never been, okay, shut up, dude. Yeah, I'm sure it was the 3 shots that did you over. But I bet those 15 beers you slammed down your throat didn't help either.
Just let the gaspers pass us by. Ain't too down, but you're not too sly. I can't shield your eyes now, sugar. Don't you going up as going on.
Okay, so this week we actually have another fellow East Coast transplant on the program. It's a boy from Queens. We got Sean Levine from Ghostmouth in the studio, and they've been doing a lot of great things recently. They've opened up for some huge names, mainly Arcade Fire, the Pixies, who else? Flaming Lips. They're going to be touring with the Black Keys this summer, whether they like it or not. If you're not familiar with what Ghostmouth does, they're the world's first portable band, and what they do is they just play outside the venue for the people waiting for the doors to open. And they've been they've been causing quite a stir. And so we sat down to chat about that and probably baseball for way too much. He's a Yankees fan, but I didn't hold that against him. Let the gas pass us by. Ain't too dumb, but you're not too sly. I can't shield your eyes now, sugar. Don't you go in up. That's going on. Tape it back together with it. No, not yours. Mine. Mine have this hideous yellow dumpling. All right.
Oh man.
Yeah, you see it now? Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm with Sean from Ghostmouth in the studio, if you can call it that. I mean, it's basically my house. Listeners of this program would probably figure that out right now. How you doing, Sean?
Pretty good.
So, all right, I want to get this like right out of the way, right off the bat, because we actually had a conversation about this, and it was one of those things when I found out. I kind of felt like Jack Black from High Fidelity in that scene where they're talking about songs, like top 5 songs about death. When I heard this idea, I was just like, bastard, that's so good. It should have been mine. You guys set up outside of concerts, so to speak. Basically, you open for bands whether they like it or not.
Well, actually, they play before us, so technically they're opening for us. Yeah.
So, how long you basically? How do you do this? I mean,
well, we had the idea. We were basically just very unsatisfied with certain venues and shows around the area.
Yeah.
And, there's some great venues here, but there are also, you can't play at the great venues every time. There's tons of crappy venues to play at. So, we kind of just decided that we were sick of we didn't want to go through the whole, like, classic. I mean, we were a fairly new band at the time, and we didn't want to go through the classic, like, you start playing, like, hundreds of shows around the area, and most of them no one's at, and eventually you get like 5 fans. And then and then like it spreads around, and eventually you get like 10 people coming.
Stop!
To your show.
This is hitting way too close to home.
Yeah. So we see what we do is basically a shortcut. We originally thought of like sneaking into the Target Center during like Timberwolves games with ukuleles hidden in our pants, but like. Then we realized that an acoustic setup like that wouldn't really work for us. We're too electric and hard hitting of a band. So our drummer came up with this idea to like he originally thought about like having like a tambourine attached to a snare drum and using that as like a drum set.
Yeah.
And then he thought we were going to be using acoustic guitars, and then I came up with the idea of buying battery powered amps because I saw these things like in a store somewhere. And I realized no one ever uses them. Like they've been in production for like at least 10 years, but no one's ever used them.
Yeah, no one wants to use them because why would you use a battery-powered amp on stage?
Exactly, yeah. There's no like purpose for it tonally. Like it's got terrible tone. But I mean, for what we're doing, it's not like we're after the best tone. But I mean, like, they've been around for so long, and no one's ever thought like, hey. Yeah, like, obviously we're not going to use them on stage, but they have batteries. We can use them anywhere.
Yeah.
So, then once our drummer, saw those, he came up with a different idea for his portable drum set, and then we ended up flipping a floor tom around and using that as a bass drum. And, from there, the only trick was figuring out what we were going to do with vocals, and megaphones seemed like the only option.
Yeah, so you guys are officially the world's first portable band.
Fully portable.
I remember last time I talked to you, I think you were like, so what, because did you just graduate, or what's the deal with that?
No, I have a year left.
No, you're actually doing that thing?
Yeah.
You're not gonna drop out and
live the punk rock life.
Have credibility.
Yeah, I know. I've got the half punk rock credibility with the portable thing, and then I'm in school, so
yeah.
Believe
me, I graduated music school with. It's you get your degree, and it's like, oh, there that is. Oh, yeah. But we talked, and we were talking about just what we were doing this summer, and you're like, I don't know, I think we're going on tour with the Black Keys, and you just had this like grin on your face. I was like, oh my god, that's brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Have you been like asked to leave yet for that?
Not once, actually, but we're waiting for it. We're really want it to
it's
happen.
gonna come out.
Actually, I'd like to give a message to the St. Paul and Minneapolis police. If you feel like arresting us, please do.
All right. Well, I doubt
We would love it.
I doubt any of them listens to this podcast. At least I hope
never know.
not.
You
I
never
hope
know,
not.
man. But we're expecting to get arrested somewhere during the tour, especially in Chicago. I've heard that they're not too friendly to buskers.
Is that one of those cities you have to apply for?
Yeah, it's $100 for the permit, but we're not going to do that.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I never.
I mean, these
understood
skies are free, so should our shows.
So where are you guys gonna go? I mean, do you think?
Well, it all depended on where the Black Keys were going.
Yeah.
And where I wanted to go up to the East Coast and do an East Coast tour, which eventually we'll probably do. But unfortunately, the Black Keys aren't doing that. They're going up to Canada, and we're following them up to Winnipeg. Then they're playing in St. Paul, and then down in Iowa, then over in Milwaukee, and then that's where our part with the Black Keys end, and then we're meeting up with the Flaming Lips in Chicago, playing 2 dates at the Aragon Ballroom with them, and then we'll be at Pitchfork Music Festival.
Yeah, the Flaming Lips, they're really nice guys. I have
cool,
tea with Wayne every day. That's how you guys met, right?
Yeah, we were making blood print posters.
You're originally from out east, right?
I'm from Queens originally.
Okay, yeah. All right. So you like directly in Queens, not like what I say because no one knows where Westchester is. And
No, yeah, Kew Gardens.
as soon as I tell them where Westchester is, it immediately turns into, oh, do you know Bam? And then that's a conversation I got sick of having.
I do know Bam.
I met him once.
Me and Bam go way back.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about Bam Margera, right?
He's a terrible tipper, actually.
Oh yeah.
His family's really nice. I used to work at a bar, and I served Phil and Ape, and they're really nice people. They're nice.
Did you really meet Bam Margera's parents?
I mean, it was one of those things where like I brought them water and cleared their plates, so it's not like I met them, but like they seemed nice enough. But Bam came to that bar a lot, and he is a terrible tipper. I'm just going to put that out there. For as rich as he is,
I could see that.
He's a terrible tipper.
Skate punks.
What the hell brought you out here?
I went up to Boston for about like a summer, and went to Berkeley and stayed there. And Berkeley's a very expensive college, so I didn't. I didn't really like the music scene out in Boston.
I didn't. We were there on tour. I was thoroughly unimpressed.
Yeah, it had its days back, like Mission of Burma and stuff like that, during like the whole post-punk and like hardcore scene. Yeah. But it's I don't know. It's just not. There's no community there right now. It's probably regaining speed, but it's not quite there yet. And the New York scene was great, but I feel like I played that as much as I could.
Well, the New York scene is great, but it's also, it's great because it's so huge. The city has everything and everything.
Well, my band, we were like really young. We started when we were 15 and
really?
gaining ground in like Brooklyn and stuff. But that band, it kind of reached this wall where it's like that's as far as we can go in our specific scene. And then the band broke up, and it just felt like it was the right time to move. And I checked out McNally Smith. I don't want to. It just seems cheesy to name drop my college, but
because it is.
Yeah. McNally Smith College of Music, located right on 19th Exchange Street East in downtown St. Paul, Minnesota.
Follow your dreams.
It's all about the music. Go in and talk to Chris Osgood. He'll help you.
Oh, just do what you love, man.
But anyway, so I wanted to check out that school, and at first I went to First I got to St. Paul, and I was staying at a hotel in downtown St. Paul.
Yeah.
And I got there at 6 o'clock. So as you can imagine, everything was closed, and there was no one in the whole city. And so I walked outside, and that was it. It was a ghost town. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm moving here. There's no one in the city. Like, how can there be a music scene? There's no one living here. And then I heard, Minneapolis was the more happening with the nightlife of the two cities. So I decided to go out there, and I went to a show at the Dakota. There was some trio playing there, and that was pretty cool. And then I checked out First Ave. I saw a show there of some local band that I can't even remember. And I decided to move here. I had like a really good vibe about the place.
I did too for some reason.
Yeah, I felt like, and you're a fellow East Coaster, so I think you think in the same
Philly.
way. Yeah, I felt like I could easily take over this entire city. And that's really what we're doing with our portable thing, is we're forcing the entire city to love us.
Throats.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I checked out Berkeley. I think every musician does when they decide to go to music school. I was not really impressed, but maybe that's just like the Philly person in me. I mean, there's
it's a really cool school. Like it's got a lot of it's definitely I went to like I took like a semester there. It's got the teachers are all great. They're really talented.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't book a rehearsal space.
The city though. I mean, it's pretty and everything, but
a lot of Dunkin' Donuts. There are no Dunkin' Donuts around here.
Well, I don't know. I think the best jab I've ever heard about Boston, and if you're from Boston, sorry, but it's a lot of Philly Flyers fans call it. It's just that town's just Scranton with clams.
That's better what all the Yankees fans say about it.
I don't even want to begin to go there. Yeah. Are you a Yankees fan?
Oh, of course.
Ooh, okay. Well, as long as you're
I
not
don't know if I should say that in a Minnesota podcast.
Well, as long as you're not a Mets fan. Is anyone in New York a Mets fan?
Oh yeah, they're diehard.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, I met one guy. He's a diehard Twins fan.
Honestly, most of the people from Queens are Mets fans.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that. I met one guy. He moved to New York. It's actually Joe's brother, my bassist. Oh, okay. He moved to New York. He's a Twins fan. He's like, I feel like I should adopt a team, and it's not going to be the Yankees because it's
it's kind for people who are pissed off that the Yankees are so good.
The Mets. Oh,
if you don't like the Yankees.
Oh, believe me, I love the fact that the Mets are in our division. It's an easy sweep every time.
Oh yeah.
How the hell did we get on baseball? What are we, the hold steady?
Oh.
One day I will watch opening day baseball with Craig Finn. I will. I'm going to do it, I swear to God. All right, where do we go from here?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's. All right, so I actually wanted to bring this up. Hipster Potter. Because the second movie's coming out in like 2 months. Are you going to do it?
Oh, yeah. We're planning on hitting up a few theaters. For those of you that don't know, we had a video that went definitely not viral, but it had a little bit of popularity. And my pseudo like record label type thing, Banana Static. I went around dressed as in like these thick 3D glasses with no lenses. And had a scarf and pea coat, and went to the premiere showing of Harry Potter, the new one, whatever it is.
Harry Potter 7.
Yeah, part 1, 2D.
I still think you should go out there and say, we're here at Harry Potter 8, just to watch the nerd rage get visible.
Yeah, I interviewed all these nerds, and no offense to any of them, but...
Hey, I love the series, so I mean, you're not going to offend me.
Yeah, it was great. Everyone was dressed up. I was quite disappointingly the most dressed up. But
well, instead of the lightning bolt scar, you just wrote lightning bolt because of the band.
The band Lightning Bolt. Yeah, they're pretty obscure. Though most people who are listening to this podcast probably haven't heard of them.
Are you getting into character now?
I'm getting into character.
Yeah, and then my favorite...
my favorite Harry Potter movies, though, of course, are the earlier ones.
Yeah, before the series went downhill. It just went downhill.
Yeah.
The director had more ambitious and edgier decisions, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They were a little bit darker,
Yeah, more, definitely... they were more post Lord of the Rings back then.
Yeah. Post Loader.
Yeah, exactly.
Now the whole... okay, so... Is this your whole existence seems like trying to annoy people until it goes viral? So what's your next plan?
Well, we don't really do that on purpose. It's not like it's not like a gimmick. We just have fun with it.
Yeah, that's.
But
okay.
We had another. I think the most popular video we've had actually was when the White Stripes broke up. Me and
I saw that actually. Yeah,
me and our bass player had this incredibly unfunny video, but it was the first White Stripes breakup video. It was the first one to hit YouTube. We did, like, I saw my opportunity. I was like, Zach, we've got to do this immediately. Like, don't even worry about writing a script. We won't even bother making it funny. We just need to put something out there immediately. Yeah. And we did a list of bands that should have broken up instead of the White Stripes, and we included ourselves on that list, and along with like Dream Theater and Lynyrd Skynyrd and a bunch of other like really shitty bands. And a bunch of people got really pissed off and started fights and didn't realize, like, that's kind of the point. We just wanted to create mischief.
That's the point of YouTube. I actually heard this gigantic conspiracy theory that there's this Illuminati of 4chan users that learns their own specific improper grammar and starts arguments on YouTube.
I'd buy it. There's this band called Ghostmouth that starts arguments on YouTube.
But they get to the theory, they get like really intense, purposely misspell certain things, use a lot of leet speak, and just unabashedly say racist comments just so people will get really mad, or because it can't be just an outright thing. You go on a video about Star Wars and just say Star Wars sucks. That's not going to like get people going. You need to say something
racist.
Yeah, a little bit against the grain, and I don't know. It seems like a gigantic waste of time, but
I'm surprised people haven't been going more nuts over the death of Osama.
Oh, they have.
I haven't been on YouTube lately.
Have you seen the internet?
I mean, Facebook's been blowing up with, every American turning into a redneck, let's chop up his body and send it to his mother and make him.
And for people who listened to last week's episode, I know I had a 7-minute tirade about the Osama thing, and I really think there's a lot of truth to that fake quote, mourning the death of thousands, but there's no reason to celebrate the death of an enemy, because I knew, especially the media in this country, would go nuts. Oh, yeah. Although, have you seen this video? It is a 3-minute montage of Fox News misspelling Osama bin Laden's name for Obama bin Laden.
Oh, man, no, I haven't seen that.
And everyone just Obama's been captured and killed. It's just this outright Freudian slip. That's funny.
Was it actual legitimate slips?
I can't tell if it's because Obama's president and he executed the order, and it's just, or they are really that hardcore partisan that they need they need to just slightly get that opinion into the universe.
Great. That's great.
But the coverage is a little wacky. You should do something with that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, I didn't think of that.
What can you do though? What can you do that would stand out? Let's think.
Well, we've got a half black guitar player. Yeah. We could.
All right.
We're going down dark alleys here, but we could dress him up, kind of.
No.
No, okay, never mind.
No. We started it. Yeah. Oh man.
All I'm saying is, if you see someone playing through a battery-powered amp and a megaphone who looks kind of like Osama bin Laden. Don't look to us.
It's not Ghostmouth. It's the Beggars.
Zing.
It's a band called the Beggars. Yeah, you guys
from Michigan.
Well, you had. Is that? I mean, that was one of the main reasons for your name change. You used to be the Beggars.
Yeah, we used to be the Beggars. Commonly known fact around here. Everyone loves bringing it up. We used to be the Beggars, and we changed it for a few reasons. I mean, we got a new member, our new bass player Zach, and our people just couldn't find us with the name like the Beggars. Just too common. We were up against not only other bands but any news article that had ever mentioned a beggar, and Beggars Group and the record label, and then the Beggar, the poem, and Beggars Opera.
Yeah, I googled you guys and I got the Beggars Opera.
Yeah, we don't show up until the 13th page. So we changed the name. Honestly, I always felt a little strange telling people we were called the Beggars too. It fit back when we had our kind of older, more like melodic trash punk style going on. Yeah. But now that we've moved in new directions and have this more like proggy, post-punk, new wave, hipster, mania sound.
The more I listen to it, I hope it's not like making it too derivative, but I would kind of describe it as Oingo Boingo meets the Strokes.
I'd take that. Definitely the
Kinda
Oingo Boingo part. People have told me I sing a little bit like Julian Casablancas.
That's because you're from New York.
From New York, yeah.
It's kind of like how in Britpop all those guys sound the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Everyone in New York sounds a little bit
Well,
like
when I
Julian
moved out here,
Casablancas.
people thought I was from Boston. I was just like, Boston? What?
Yeah.
I don't sound anything like that. With
You know,
my
I don't
Atlantic
know
accent.
I don't know if Julian Casablancas from the Strokes has one, but I never had a New York accent.
Mm-mm.
Everyone always calls me out on the fact that I don't have an accent, even though I'm from New York.
My accent has become muted.
Yeah.
It's become this
Just
bland.
glad we don't have Minnesotan accents.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. I've never met anyone who actually had that thick of an accent.
Oh, I've met a few.
The Bobby's World Mom
The
accent?
Chicago accent's better though. I love that accent.
Yeah, but that's
It's hilarious.
I've heard the Chicago accent in Chicago.
come in.
But I haven't.
Let me just charge my phone here for a minute.
I've heard plenty of that in Chicago, but I was really disappointed. I think because there's so many transplants to this city, and
Yeah.
it's not as big as Chicago.
Yeah.
So, but I will say this: if you go north Minnesota,
Oh, the
everyone
accent,
talks
yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
and it's awesome.
You mean Canada?
My friends, whenever I visit back east, my friends still think it's hilarious that there is a town in the metro area called Little Canada,
Huh.
because they imagine it as if it's Little China,
Huh.
only for Canada, and that's they just think it's a part of town that you go to, and there's maple syrup everywhere, and Canadian flags, and Rush is playing on every
Oh,
station.
every station.
Played Against Sports only sells hockey equipment, and
It sounds like heaven. My friends just can't get over Dinkytown.
Dinkytown, the name or the concept?
The name.
Yeah, I can see that. That's
Yeah.
what it is, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just this weird nexus of culture and then a college campus in between two cities.
Yeah.
It really is its own thing. It's not. It's not Minneapolis when you go there.
no,
The
not
skyline
at all.
is prominent, but it's
There's some
totally-
venues that are Minneapolis-esque, though. It kind of is
Yeah.
reminiscent of Uptown a little bit,
Yeah, and
like the Kitty
but
Cat
it's-
Club, especially.
It's the college campus that does it because school's that big anyway. I actually lived for a couple years in State College, which is where Penn State is, and
Yeah.
every Big Ten school, like I don't know how many students those schools have, like 40,000. I mean,
Yeah.
they are the town.
Right.
I
Well,
mean-
yeah, U of M has like 40,000 students.
Yeah, and when you put that in a city, I mean, the campus itself is its own town, and
Yeah.
it's not really. I don't know. Dylan used to. Dylan doesn't
yeah.
care.
Yeah, Dylan.
He used to play in Dinkytown.
He's
and
a New Yorker.
He does not care.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares if he ever steps foot in this state again.
Yeah.
And if you're offended by that, take it up with Dylan. I mean, at least Prince has state pride, but Dylan
Yeah.
does not care that he grew up in. I don't know, where did he grow up? Near Duluth.
Duluth, I think. Yeah.
Duluth.
Yeah.
Did you ever play? They converted a room that he used to sleep in into a music venue
Really?
called the Red Room, and I played there a few times. The stage is the size of a postage stamp, but
No, I don't know if I've ever played there.
it was cool just to do it to say you did. Really, and it's actually in the Loring Pasta Bar, which is that place is weird. That's like
Never been there.
It's like if Tom Waits fell asleep,
Yeah.
and then in his dream he started a franchise of pasta serving restaurants. That's what the Loring Pasta Bar looks like.
Okay, I see.
At this point, this is just like a manual for tourists who want to come
Yeah,
to the
yeah, we're getting-
cities. Like we're getting way.
Yeah, we should
off.
probably talk about music.
What's that? Okay, so
I don't know.
I'm holding the album right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Comes
so
out June 14th.
okay, who is Billy Whitmark?
He would like to remain anonymous.
Okay, but
And I will also saying it could be a he or a she. I'm not
okay. Now
I'm not disclosing anything.
because you had a long list of suitors for your artwork.
Yeah, a lot of people sent stuff in. A few people sent things in late after we already someone sent us something like a week ago, and we've had the CDs since then. And yeah, we had a whole list of people. A few of our friends were working on things. We had this one guy out in De Pere, who's friends with our bass player, who's apparently working on some stuff with David Barnes, which is pretty cool. And he did us a painting, but I never saw that. But yeah. So eventually, one day, we got a text message actually with this album cover on it, and I knew pretty immediately that's at least was the closest thing to what I had been looking for. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I will say also about this artist that they are 15 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I know you guys can't see it, but go to ghostmouth.com and look at the artwork. It's pretty impressive. 15? Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even...
Couldn't even pick up a pencil when I was 15.
No, well, why would you?
Yeah.
We have computers. It's Pro Tools.
Exactly,
so.
Yeah. Typewriters. All
right. So,
yeah, so that comes out June 14th. We have a CD release show at the 400 Bar.
Yeah.
June 18th with Speed's the Name.
And, wow. Yeah. I haven't seen them on a bill in a long time.
Yeah, they played at where they play? They played at Hell's Kitchens with the Red Pens pretty recently, but
okay, yeah.
They don't play incredibly often. They like to space out their shows. But yeah, it's a real privilege to have them on here with us. And also there's a live hip hop band called Credentials that we're playing with.
Yeah, we've played with them before.
Yeah, they're a great band. And then San Dimas is a new band.
I have not. Wait, I think is a guy named Dan in that band.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he works at the 400 Bar actually.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know Dan.
Yeah, they're really.
He was actually inadvertently on this podcast once.
Was he really?
Well, the episode where Dave and I just went down to the St. Patrick's Day parade, we ran into him.
Oh, really? That's hilarious.
Yeah, and yeah, Speed's the Name's really good.
Yeah, Speed's the Name's
we
great.
actually just played with Peter Remiger's group.
That is Speed's the Name.
No, like his solo group.
Oh, I didn't know he had a solo group.
Yeah, he's got a trio. It's
wow.
And he released released an album of just a solo album.
Huh.
And yeah, you should check that out.
I didn't know that. Is it good?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, it sounds like nothing else I've heard in a long time.
It's kind of how I feel about Speed's the Name. Actually,
Yeah.
They don't really quite sound like anyone else.
Yeah, and I think those four guys just it's four guys who have minds like that. And,
in Pete Remiger's solo project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and Speed's the Name too.
Yeah,
I think
Speed's the
that's how
Name.
that...
Speed's the Name's what? They're a 5 or 6 piece band now.
Do they? Wow.
Yeah, Joe from Clawthroat just joined.
Really?
Recently, yeah.
You know, we're actually playing their Clawthroat's last show ever.
Okay, they did finally schedule a last show.
Yeah, it's on my birthday.
Damn shame. Really?
Yeah, we're playing.
Where's
we're
it
playing
at?
with them.
When?
It's the 331. We're playing with Clawthroat and
That's a 21 plus venue.
Stacey K's band. Get older. When do you turn?
We're young in this band. We only have one 21-year-old. I turned 21 July 31st, though.
Oh, okay. So
Donovan until September, and Zach doesn't ever turn 21. He's never going to grow up.
But he's contractually obligated to never turn 21.
He's a little 19. He's going to stay 19 and ginger forever. Just like Annie.
Are you guys going to make him wear grows hair out? And oh, no, that's Pippi Longstocking. That's not Annie.
Yeah.
Either way.
You can play both.
You can play both.
Donovan has the long hair. Zach's got the red hair.
Okay, so post CD release show, what are you guys gonna do?
Right, a week after that, we leave on tour with the Black Keys, whether they like it or not. And yeah, so then there's the whole Chicago thing. Actually, yeah, we're meeting up with Flaming Lips, and then yeah, there's that Pitchfork. I actually want this summer, and I haven't told you about this, but I think you'll be interested in this. I want to throw what I'm calling the Gorilla Ghostmouth Festival.
Oh, is this... Because we had many conversations just is this the parking garage thing?
I was thinking just in the open, like in the middle of like the city, doing like a set in Minneapolis and a set in St. Paul for like getting like a bunch of different bands. Like I'm gonna contact everyone I can, see who anyone who can actually work with the battery powered setup. So if you're interested, contact me. But that's one of the plans I have. To just lend bands our portable setup and like. If we get kicked out of a place, just move on to the next place. Yeah. The flyer will say, Guerrilla Ghostmouth Festival venue, wherever the hell we want.
It's going to be like this St. Paul art crawl.
Yeah.
Only, just give them a map of places
exactly,
where you would
we might play, except that'll tip off the cops. But after that, though...
You just said you wanted the cops to arrest you like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, but we want it to be like spontaneous. Not
not
planned. Yeah. So, we actually don't have any gigs really planned after the tour. I mean, we'll probably be doing a ton. We'll probably be pretty busy, and I'm sure we'll book a lot. The only gig we do have booked after the tour is actually in September. We already have it booked. This is actually the highest paying gig we've gotten so far. We're playing with Foxy Shazam.
Really?
In New Jersey. Yeah. It's either the 23rd or the 30th. It hasn't been made like 100% official yet, but
hilarious. You got me into that band.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
And then you had like a tribute concert for them.
Yeah,
recently,
I saw them at Lollapalooza last year, and I decided I need to be him for a day. And so,
did you actually swallow three lit
cigarettes? Yeah.
How did that feel?
It was all right. I almost puked afterwards, but I kept singing. It was on the 4th song out of like 8 too, so yeah.
What does a lit cigarette feel like when it's going down?
Yeah, it went out pretty immediately. But the one thing I didn't take into account is I had to sing really quickly after I did it, and I didn't take into account that it was going to be difficult to swallow that much tobacco, and so it was just kind of like flying out of my mouth while I sang. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. So Foxy Shazam, huh? Is a band called Nico's Gun playing that with you?
No, we're the only two bands on the bill. Okay. It's at Ramapo College in New Jersey. It's one of the state colleges there.
Okay, all right. Well, I think considering the last 10 minutes was a big plug fest, there's not really.
By the way, my book's coming out. It's called My Run for Canada. Go on.
Making Love the Sean Levine Way. By Sean Chaucer Levine. Considering we've just been plugging things, I think we got enough information. How about we end it here? And I think people are going to find you this summer.
Yeah, they'll see us whether they want to.
If you go to a First Ave show, you're probably going to run into Ghostmouth. I'm going to say that right now. All right, well, thanks, Sean, for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
Check out yourself. Your eponymous CD comes out when? 14th?
Yeah, the 14th of June. You can keep up on it at ghostmouth.com.
As I nimbly climbed the panels of the siding of the house, up to a room I went right after all her guests had left. She said, "Oh, sweetie, you've got nothing to be jealous for," so I called her a tart, and now she never writes her phones anymore.
All right, there we go. Did we talk about the album enough? Do you think you can remember when it comes out? Do we need to remind you? No, seriously. Check it out when it comes out in June. You can actually stream it on their website now. If you like what you hear, try catching a show. If you don't think you can make any of those shows, they will probably come find you. Let's be honest. But this week we got a show at the Nomad, continuing with our residency. We got Nathan K. from UP, Michigan. And one of my label mates, it's more the eclectic side of the Secondhand Opera. It's a insane jazz combo called Smokin' with Baby. And Shovel Dance, another great group. Wow, that show's gonna be good. Am I tooting my own horn enough? So check that out. That's May 12th. I want to thank Sean for coming on the show. Always a pleasure talking to you, sir. And as always, I want to thank all you listeners out there. Please, keep in touch.